Okay,
And then when your clock says,
okay, well, we will,
Stratum 1 says we're there.
yeah, it does. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order, and, Cinta sent out the revised minutes
Yes,
with the actual,
not the land use and planning.
priorities, so
Yeah.
I thought they looked good.
Okay.
Ann, did you get a chance to review?
No, I'm sure there wasn't.
Okay. Most of it was right off of Mike's report.
It was. I tried to
So-
paraphrase because I got tired of, if you want to email me that, be.
I will.
And then we could just include it as an attachment.
Okay, 'cause I was impressed with my typing skills, so I'm not gonna lie.
I know, but you could just, include it as an attachment to the minutes,
I could.
see attached, and,
That would make it easier.
yeah, and then you're not having to, then it's direct from Public Works direct.
And-
Okay, all right, so those will be approved. Public Works update.
I don't have anything written up. We didn't, there's a couple lots to report on, I got a couple things.
Okay,
We've just mainly been dealing with snow and, had some water issues. We had a couple water leaks since the last time we met, and, way you're well aware, we've been plowing snow. Along those lines, one thing I'm gonna be looking into, I've already started looking into, but it's gonna be more when we start doing budgets for Public Works. We don't really have any capacity to haul snow, which
yeah,
strikes me as odd, given how much snow we have. I mean, our
Mhm.
Yeah.
trucks we have are the little single axle trucks with the plows on them. So I'm gonna look at trying to find the double axle dump trucks, that's the big box, maybe two of them. 'Cause days like today, we could be hauling snow and it's getting pretty congested, especially down here and everywhere. So that's something,
My understanding is you're looking for those right now, right? You're just looking
Yeah.
for one that's the right price, so,
I'm shocked.
so we will work
Yeah.
into the budget if we
And
find
I'm
them.
looking at, like, we've got at some point, the city bought it, what you call a Durapatcher, it's for patching potholes, it uses oil and chips, and I've used them before in the past and went away from them. They're not a very durable patch and it's fairly expensive and it's time consuming. This year we just bought asphalt and just did the old fashioned way, and we have a roller now to compact it. I'm gonna look at selling that piece of equipment and maybe turning that money into a dump truck too. So it's looking at other options besides just trying to fit it in the budget. One of the things, I don't know, did the CIP draft get included in their packet or no?
no,
Okay.
I don't think so.
We're working on the draft, the capital improvement plan for the city. I'm working with Great West, we have a draft, I'll email that out to everybody, because I'd like to get people's comments on it. It's kind of a wish list of where we want to go in the future, and it's all, any capital improvement over $5,000 can go in it.
Mm-hmm.
It is a planning document, so it carries weight if a grant comes up somewhere, and we can document that, we didn't just think of this as part of our plan.
Right.
It helps in scoring, so I'd encourage people to look at it. And if you see anything in there you think would be worthy, let me know. The other thing is, the final draft of the Prairie Hill feasibility study is available now. So I'd encourage everybody to take a look at that. I read through it today, it's pretty straightforward and looks pretty good. And the last thing I have is on the 19th of February, we're gonna have our first meeting with the EDA for the EDA grant, which would be the street project in phase 1 of the wastewater, or the stormwater. So that's starting. I don't know how it's gonna progress, but, it's starting, that's a good sign.
Okay,
And that's all I got for Public Works update.
Okay.
Any garbage removal bids or anything? Any garbage? I mean, Republic, do they respond?
So,
Yes.
Madam Chair, so we have not sent it out yet, that's
Oh.
on for you. So what you guys have is the draft of the RFP. What we're doing is giving council a chance to put any input or tweaks or changes in, if you would like it, and then that'll go out this week.
Okay, well, I did call Victor, Idaho, and got some information about their program, which is
Okay.
curbside, but it's a major deal.
Mhm.
The county runs it. They have
Yeah.
12 employees. It's a big damn deal.
Oh.
But
Well,
work,
and I think that's what they did in Shoto where Mike was, they actually did their own city, so.
It wasn't curbside though.
Oh.
We just, the city, it's a lot smaller scale than here. We had our own, we had like you guys have down there.
Yeah.
P&Z, plastic, whatever.
Okay.
And it kind of slowly went away over the years, to where now it's basically paper and cardboard and
Mm.
aluminum and steel. We
No
can't do
plastic, no glass, no.
No.
well, Victor, I mean, it's called Teton County, Idaho, but they basically do exactly what we do, is taking same problems we have, but they have a 12-acre piece of property east of town. It's a big deal. It's impressive, but anyway, I talked to her, so I can fill people in on that.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so, anybody have any more questions for Mike on what he just reported? Okay. All right, we are on Resolution 3679, reimbursement resolution for proposed water system improvement, scheduled for action tonight.
Everybody know what that is?
We had some questions last time, but I think yeah,
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Basically, it's documents so that we can get feedback the money we've invested in that design so far, and the value in it is that it will go against the loan, which has theoretically 50% forgiveness, so we'll get half of it paid for free.
Wait, reading through it now, wait.
well, we had it up for discussion last time,
The Brewery
so.
Hill thing online?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Brewery Hill?
It is not online, we just got it this week,
Okay.
and so as soon as I get a chance to look through it, it'll be up online.
Got it. That'll be good.
Okay. Okay,
Actual assessments, section 4, yeah,
yeah, I mean, nobody had any questions or problems with it
no.
during discussion last time, so hopefully that won't be an issue, for action tonight. We'll get
Okay.
that taken care of. So the RFP for the solid waste collection and disposal is next, and
I kind of butt in.
that's okay.
Do we have
You're
a
good.
copy of that? I didn't bring one.
Yeah, there's one in the packet.
I'm reading it.
Want to borrow mine, Mike?
I'll take a look at it, so did it change much from?
And it's got the highlights and the comments of all the things that are in it.
Is there a difference between yellow and green?
I think the green edits were mine and the yellow edits were Lonnie's. I
We're
think.
just like dates and changes and
Where am
stuff.
I looking for? Okay, tomorrow.
So really, no, there's.
Mike, do you want to take this one too for the next part of the conversation?
I'm just going through all
They're kind of related. but,
Resolutions.
Okay.
Before, there's a lot. Have to do with that page. There's more about the case.
Essentially the same as the last one, except for what's in yellow and what's in green.
Okay,
Wait, what?
the RFP.
I'm still rolling, hold up. Oh, there we go. Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I think one thing that the mayor brought up and I agree with is the evaluation criteria seems a little.
Off.
Well, I don't know, I mean, that's what it was last time. It seems like maybe some of those percentages could get moved.
How would you like them moved to?
Well, so like, for example, the ability to meet it at cost is like 5% of the score.
No, it's 10%.
Oh,
I would say that should be up there pretty high.
Whoa, okay.
And their ability to handle cardboard was 20%.
Oh.
So if you look at the ratings.
Okay, yeah.
This kind of fits into the next conversation too, because we'd like to have them look at their ability to incorporate and handle that too, so.
Yeah, I mean, capability to meet time and project budget requirements is only 10%, that should be like 50.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think
I'm-
it's some
That's
conversation.
10%.
yeah, you can go over, we're good, don't worry about it. I'm
Like,
no. So, yeah, I agree with you on that
I
one, Mike.
think that might need a little scratching and
Tweaking.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is use of bear-resistant containers, is that really an option for us anymore? Are we locked into that?
We need to be locked into that.
So I don't even know if that should be in there, it should be a requirement maybe?
Well, it's a pass-fail as opposed to a score.
Yeah.
So maybe take that out,
Well,
or, I mean, they have to do it.
so we're
Period.
gonna take it back and finish it before we send
Okay.
it out. This
Oh,
is
okay.
your opportunity to say,
Take this
Yeah.
out, fix it.
take that out, make it be a pass-fail, nothing else is an option.
Yeah, I would, use the barrier-resistant containers, to me, as a pass-fail.
Okay,
I mean, we're gonna have garbage all
Can you
over.
imagine?
I don't want to.
I remember those days,
I don't like cleaning up
yeah,
trash,
no,
so we're gonna.
and I do it on the daily.
I'm gonna make some notes here.
okay,
We're gonna move more towards like 50% on their ability
that's,
to meet time and project budget requirements.
I'm just gonna say 50% for number 2.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's huge.
That's only,
I mean, is it a given that the lowest price would be the one we take, or no? I mean,
And I don't think it has to be, but if it's like last time, that was it was a 4-to-1 ratio, so it was we have to be able to defend to our constituents why if we don't go with the lowest.
Well, they have to meet the requirements that we want, and like you said last time, the other companies couldn't meet the bear-resistant
Well,
container
it just
thing.
jumped their price way up.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, and going back to that rating, and I gave my copy away, but it's like the ability to meet the task and guidelines.
that's huge, yeah.
One of the other pieces of feedback that has come up from council to put in there is, we will request for performance clauses.
Right, yes.
Do you have that written down on yours already?
no, request,
performance clauses?
We've just, I don't know if have noticed on, Red Lodge Buzz, and it's not happening necessarily in town. All of the complaints seem to be out in the county, but Republic Services is basically not picking up people's garbages
In the county.
in the county.
some of that's happening on the west bench in town too.
Yeah, so,
I don't hear a lot of that, but I think the gals in the office could speak to that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we need to reiterate, we've talked about it in council, we've talked about it with Mike and stuff too, is we are not gonna inject ourselves in a negotiation.
no, and I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if they are treating their county customers where it's one-on-one versus the whole municipality, you know, I mean, I understand we have more pull because it's a huge contract, but I don't want what's happening out in the county to start happening in the
Trickling
city.
down.
And that
That's-
part is
that's
100% on,
that's-
that's why we
that's what I'm
have
trying to
performance
say.
clauses in there.
Yeah, that's why I'm
But
saying
we
I really
aren't
think we
gonna
need
say, we want you to take better people at the county.
Oh,
or
no,
we
no,
want
I'm
you
not
to do
saying that at all. I'm just saying, we're
Explain.
starting to hear complaints from citizens outside the county, which we have no control over. We wanna make sure that you're not going to start doing that in town.
Yeah.
And I
like
think that's
missing
the
garbage,
performance
like,
clauses.
yeah.
If you miss it
Yeah,
more than
missing,
X or
yeah,
such and
missing
such.
garbage pickup because,
Performance clause is something we write up as part of the contract.
But it'll be part of the contract, but I'd like for them to propose it ideally. So if their idea, if we miss more than 3 days, or if we're, you know, or if we miss it and don't give you a heads up notice,
Or
So should that be part of a requirement in the solid waste management part, that we request performance clauses in the contract?
Well, I want my thinking is I'd like their idea of what they would be willing to offer for performance clauses, and then we'll write them in the
And then we'll
contract.
write it in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they missed us all, last Wednesday completely on the 700 block of, between Adams and Grant. And they were supposed to be there Thursday and they never came. But that's the first time I've actually had them completely miss us.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping it was, you know, because of the weather and stuff, and,
Weather, snow, hard to get through.
yeah, at least the bears aren't out right now, so, you know.
What do you typically give in a performance clause?
I don't know, I'm kinda dumb. Give me an example of what's that mean, performance clause?
We rebate $1,000 if we aren't able to get to your trash for more than 48 hours.
Right. Without, like, no notice or,
Or if there was,
It's a clause in the contract
Mhm.
that basically stipulates a penalty if they fall short.
Right,
Yes.
right, exactly.
And-
Like, if you miss a whole section of town for a week and don't get there, then, you know, you should get some money back.
mhm.
well, and a lot of it goes back to what Jody said, which is, we want to protect, again, like I said, we want to get the behavior that we want. So, hey, we really like it if you'd call us and let us know first thing,
Mhm,
if you're not gonna make it.
mhm.
Okay, we tried and didn't, but
Right.
making it real.
Well, and there's certain places, like up at the golf course, where people, and there's a couple places in town where people have to take their garbage out to where it can be picked up, you know, and so it's kind of a big deal. It's not always,
I think we need to define section of town
yeah.
somehow. I mean,
Yeah.
not right now, but somehow.
Help me understand, what do you mean by section of town?
Well, Jody just said if they skip a section of town, we can get
Yeah, they have,
3 minutes, but
they
what's
have,
the, we need to define this, what is a section?
Oh, like,
They-
if they miss more than 50 cans or some
yeah,
sort of thing
something
like
yeah,
that.
or they miss a route, or, you know,
Yeah.
because they have routes that they do, you know, so however they define that, like you say, maybe it's up to them to put that out there, but, you know, if they're one day late, it's one thing, but if they're like, if they totally miss it for a whole week, you know, there's a lot of garbage.
That's a lot. for-
They could have a performance clause already for our other municipalities in
Right.
place, so we could,
Piggyback off of
Yeah.
that.
My thinking is, if it's their idea, it's a lot less of a fight when we get to the contract stage.
Right.
Right.
And if they kind of know, and it's their chance to sell customer service, and we mean it, that our money's where our mouth is.
Right. And I do, you know, there's some things services that I'd love to be able to keep, the cleanup days.
Mhm.
You know,
Add it in there.
those are huge. It'd be nice if we could get a third one in there in the middle of summer, maybe, because it seems like we have one in the spring and one in the fall,
How-
and,
How do we monitor, because I know they are strictly city residents.
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, but are they because I have friends who are like, hey, when's it happening? I'm like, you don't live in the city.
I know.
I think we can ask them to validate IDs and stuff,
But-
and I think they've,
Can they just show a stub of water bill?
yeah, that's what it
We
takes.
didn't show, you had to show up with your water bill or you couldn't dump on the cleanup days.
but there's never, I'm there,
Mhm.
working at recycling, every time they have a cleanup day, and there's never a big line anymore, like it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's I think it's a good idea to.
That the word got
Everybody
out.
of their tracks. They're all-
Yeah, I mean, we
super
did
good.
try to spread the word that it's for city
Yeah.
residents only, and that we pay
If
for
you
it.
check them one time, they won't come back the next time or the next time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But, yeah, was there,
I
yeah,
just wondered.
it comes in May and September, I think, right?
Right, or October, yeah,
Mhm.
September, October. You know, maybe 2 is enough. I just always seemed like they used to fill up really fast and people were just, you know, SOL.
Well, they leave when they're full,
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah,
so,
so,
Mhm.
gotta get there early.
Yeah, when I utilized it, it was super early, like loaded up my truck that night before
Yep.
and then made sure
Mhm.
we were good to go.
It's a beautiful thing.
yeah. So I don't know, you know, I haven't gone for a while. I don't know if we could utilize a third, you know, date,
I could utilize it. just
like in the
myself.
summer. Because, you know, in the spring, a lot of times people are just getting going, and then fall, and,
Burying themselves.
I know, and then it just seems like in summer, a lot of times people could start, I don't know.
As you guys looked at the RFP, did you have anything jump out at you that you think we definitely need to look at or change? And that's really what
other
we did,
than
is to try to
the-
give you guys
yeah.
an idea. You guys are ultimately gonna have to sign off on the contract, so it makes sense to me to get your
Right.
input early on.
You know,
I feel like in starting from the beginning, like in section A, there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo about incorporate variance above,
Potentially dangerous.
I mean, do we just stay in there that must have bear-proof cans accepted by the, whatever it is, IGBST?
yeah, I think we should,
Simplify that, okay?
absolutely, yeah.
We got the 4 sponsored cans. And that sounds good. Fall and spring cleanup. Recycling.
Jody, can I,
Also include waste collection and removal?
And then, I think
Oh,
the rest of it seems pretty straightforward until we get to the ranking stuff.
Okay.
There's 8 things in there. Do we really need 8 things in there?
No, well, if you're gonna put berry-resistant containers up there, you can take that out, because it's a must, it's not like, can you do it? It's like, you have to do it.
yep,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a requirement.
Assistance with our current recycling and other options, that should stay in there probably.
I don't know that we necessarily, recent and current work in Carbon
That's
County,
what I
is
was trying to
that
figure that
really a
out.
necessity?
I kinda feel like that's
really a big
redundant.
deal.
Related experience in similar projects,
I feel like 2
can,
and 4 are kind of the same, aren't they?
That's what I
manage
was,
project
yeah.
workloads, yeah,
So I'm gonna take 4 out.
okay.
Batch, 4 or 5.
Do you want, 5 in there? And, or 4 or 5 and, oh my gosh, capability to manage project workloads, I don't know. How do you even? Qualifications of professional personnel to be assigned to project. What type of qualifications are you looking for?
I don't know.
Like,
Have to be-
That's 25%.
Have to be able to drive the truck, to
I'm
lift
like,
the
how,
garbage.
what about references from other, projects, municipalities?
I think that's
Is that in here?
related experience on similar projects.
Because that's not a reference.
We could say provide references,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, like, one of them was in there is provide qualifications of, and it's like, they have to do that to hire them.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
I feel like 1 could go away, 4 could go away, 6 could go away, and 8 could go away.
okay,
1, 4, 6, 8,
And change 5 to say provide references.
5.
okay. Well, and they have to
Or just,
meet,
and add
Yeah.
related experience plus references.
don't, they have to meet a bunch of state requirements, don't they, in order to do this, so, I mean, you're not just gonna hire
Yeah, but,
some Joe Blow down the road with a dumpster.
We've got 1, 2,
well,
4.
No comment, no comment. You never know.
and I, Mike, do you have other question, you have something else? I have a question.
Sure.
Page 4, paragraph 6.
For,
Dumpsters placed at businesses provided for by the city to alleviate increased trash from tourists shall be wrapped to be aesthetically pleasing.
What,
And
I
what
saw
does
that.
that mean?
We have 2 of those, so if you go down, and
They say Red Lodge on them. They have a vinyl wrap on them.
Is that the ones that are kinda like, look like a painting?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one
They're really
place
Where's-
uptown.
they used to be by the chamber, and they were specifically requested to be moved, and so one of them's at,
One of them's at the public bathrooms.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where,
and-
that's where I've seen
And
it.
one of them's behind the public workshop, and there's a third one way up.
is there still one down by the gas station? There was one we had put down by the gas station that was one of the wrapped ones.
Pulled that one because Town Pump didn't want it there anymore. I'm not sure.
And the cleaning, at least once a year, is that being done?
I'm sorry, the
Is the steam cleaning at least once a year, is that being done?
steam cleaning
Steam cleaning of the,
Generally, they just trade them out.
Okay, all right.
of the
Well,
can.
you would know, are they pretty good at your place?
Yeah, once they get good and stinky, then
They swap them.
they swap them out. So they're cleaning them in buildings and then bringing them.
Sure, that makes sense, sure.
There was a problem we were having when they were swapping out cans because of smell or somebody spilled some paint and stuff. That they were having issues, they were showing up like at 7 o'clock in the morning and the people were getting it out at 7:13. And to their credit, they had taken a picture and sent it in. So we now have a new process that we've implemented, and in fairness, they came up with it. But what they do is they drop off the can and then we go pick up the old can. When the user calls us and tells them the can out, we pick it up and it goes up to Public Works and they pick it up from Public Works.
Okay.
So there doesn't have to be asynchronous, that's just one of those customer service
Gotcha, okay.
edges on it.
So those are small cans or?
Those are the small ones, not the big ones.
So I just had a question though on, do we have enough of the 16, like for the parks and facilities? Do we
Is that
need more?
enough?
Is that enough? Do we need to
I
put,
feel like we're good.
are we good?
I mean,
Okay.
dumpsters are problematic for us in the parks because they get abused so
They
bad.
do, I know, yeah.
So I
That's what-
really don't,
No,
honestly, don't like them there.
Yeah, and the other problem we had is that people were stacking up trash
on
around.
top.
Yeah, once
No, I
you
So
get
when the
full,
dumpster
it
gets
doesn't
full, then they
stop
just
them.
stack it in the proximity, which is
Right.
like.
No, I know. Oh, I know, and,
We have a good, I don't know what we have up there, we probably have 20 or better nice, 95-gallon cans that we keep up there for 4th of July or whatever, if we
Okay.
put, add downtown or where we
Mhm.
want, so we're pretty good.
Are those the bear cans? Or,
Yeah, they are, but they're a manual, they have carabiners on top, and it's kind of,
it's not the ones we can swap out locks from is what I was going for, so.
no, we
Yeah.
can't, I mean, it would be a temporary, if somebody has a broken can, we could say, here, take this in the meantime until we get you the correct can. I don't know that those are
IBA?
Yeah, IGBST or whatever approved, but they're pretty approved. for
but,
us.
but they aren't
This is
out,
our can.
yeah, but they're not out that long, they're
No.
just for those weekends. So
Mhm.
because it does say in here 4 events, so I'm assuming that's the 4th of July, the Harley Rodeo, the Harley Rally, car show, and then Christmas stroll. Is there another one we put it out for? Are those the 4 events?
I think so.
Okay.
And typically, like this year, I can't remember which one, we just used those cans up there, and we just swapped them out when they were full and just stacked them all at Public Works, and they came up there and
And
dumped them
dumped
all.
Oh, okay.
That 4th of July, like
Makes it
this
easy.
year, to a weekday, they actually stopped and dumped them on Main Street.
Okay.
If it's on a weekend or on a day they don't run, I don't know that they do that.
We almost use it every day on the 4th of July weekend.
What's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Service almost every day on the
Yeah,
4th
oh,
of July.
definitely.
Yeah,
We-
it's crazy, yeah.
Renaissance Fair?
We
We
have to put cans downtown because of that.
It's really not a downtown, like,
Okay, I'm just
event.
thinking- I'm just thinking
like
of big
we-
events.
And when they
Yeah.
come in there, we make them, like, rally up there, they're responsible for providing their own trash.
Beautiful. Okay.
4th of July, same thing, so.
Okay.
If you think of anything else, when you walk out of the meeting tonight or comes out, like I said, shoot off an email to me and Mike and or Lonnie, just, hey, have an idea, because like I said, I anticipate
Yeah.
that RFP will go out this week.
No, I think that, and is that accurate, the 1608 residential units, is that fairly accurate for right now?
That, I think, yeah, that's their
So,
numbers.
as of right
and
now, okay.
One of the other things that we, did we get the differential cans? And that's one of the things we want to ask about differential services. So like proposed idea for differential services.
I don't wanna
like-
go there,
Really?
I don't wanna go there, no. Because people will be like, I don't wanna,
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
We
I
do
don't-
it,
Well,
and
we
then
only
move
show
away
up at-
from it.
Yeah.
no, we get so many second homeowners and stuff like that, that they just won't wanna have it at all, and then they'll go around and dump in people's dumpsters, like they,
What
like
if,
the people-
what if it lowers
Yeah.
everybody's trash bill
it won't,
$10 a month?
it'll make everybody else's, the people who are here, it'll make it go
I
up.
think it would make it go up,
Mhm.
especially since, because then we're
Or people
eliminating
be
their-
going for the
their-
smallest can, and then it'll be overflowing,
Because right
because
now,
it's
what we're
cheaper.
doing is we're paying it based on how many residences there are, and half of them are empty.
Right, but they're also basing that fee on the fact that they are half of them empty.
I wouldn't bet a lot of money on that.
Well, the tonnage that they're pulling, isn't that a
They,
big?
they have tonnage that is
Yeah.
how they rate it.
Well, and then that's just, I mean, I would want it rated on tonnage, but I don't wanna give someone the option of getting a small can, because everybody will do the small can, and then it won't be big enough, and then
Complain.
then they'll start dumping it in people's dumpsters.
Or they'll just set it outside of the canister.
And then
Then we got more bears.
I just don't really wanna go there, personally.
That's what we need to be here.
I was thinking more bigger.
In Shoto, we gave options for a 90 to 95, and a 65. And it was just a pain in the butt, because people would change their minds, then they go back and forth, and then it's just it'd be,
Pain for them.
it's just a lot
Yeah.
more work.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when we first did this, we had a lot of second homeowners that complained, because I'm only here for 2 months out of the year, I don't need garbage, period. I'm like, well, yeah, you do, so.
'Cause I'm not
and you
taking
need
it for you.
Yeah, I know, so, I just don't, yeah. They're used to it the way it is, so I think we should just keep it that way.
Sure.
Personally. Okay, anything else on that? Okay, so let's go on to the Beartooth Industries Contract Recycling Center.
Right underneath.
So I can offer a little bit of a background on this one. They came in and wanted a quarter an hour more. What we found out was that they don't actually have a contract in place and haven't, because it expired last June or July.
Oh.
So there was a concern with starting a new contract, based on what if it becomes part of the trash services, that they say we can do it and they can do curbside or something that's beneficial. But the one that's in there has the ability to provide termination with it, so I think we're good doing it. But there was a higher concern of having people working without having a contract in place.
Yeah, definitely,
So that's kind of the trail of how that got to here.
and it is back to, I mean, they're a contractor, they're not our employees, so we're not having to cover workers' comp or anything like that, right? Okay,
Dennis,
they're an independent contractor?
I'm guessing he wrote that up initially. Lonnie would be able to answer that better.
Oh, this is basically the old contract.
That's the old contract.
Yeah, 'cause I was like,
Which got new dates on it.
Correct, kind of the same thing as the RFP.
This is 1732,
Reflect the new number. I think
Reflect-
it does, but let's confirm that with Lonnie tonight.
okay.
so I was like, is that the old one, or is that with the dollar and a half that you're talking about?
Well, it was a quarter, and I think that my recollection is that has the new dates, it also has the new amounts on it, but that was
Can
7
the
conversations ago. so
Budget
we'll-
afford, I mean, how will that affect the budget, I guess?
A quarter an hour for that number of hours, it won't.
Okay. That would be my only concern, because we
There is still,
blew up the budget.
reminds me, when you guys did the review, I know the review kind of got put off. One of my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, was one of the things that was put in place is we'll do recycling as long as it pencils out and doesn't exceed $6.
We never actually put that in the ordinance. That was just kind of the line in the sand, that when we passed it as council, we were like, we're okay with this, but, you know, we want to keep the budget in line, so we're not having to raise that price. And at the same time, we don't want to start losing services, so that all we're doing is cardboard and aluminum too. You know, because that can be done at AY Supply.
Well, to your point, that's council who drew that line in the sand. So
We
where-
did, but it
Where
was-
are we on that? Are we just continuing on as is for the
We
time
were
being? Or if you-
when Chris did the
Yeah, she did that presentation.
presentation, it was fine.
We were actually came
okay.
in under.
We were within it?
We were okay,
Yeah.
but glass is a big concern because of the cost of recycling the glass. So, you know,
Cost of shipping.
glass,
Glass, yeah.
yeah, exactly, yes. And so, I mean, I think, I know Mike watches it, and Lonnie does, but we just need, if red flags start coming up, you know, we need to know about it so we can start acting, and, you know, what are we gonna do, and come up with
I know
some.
Lori had some concerns she shared at the sustainability meeting too, that a couple of articles that really talked about plastics and the realities behind plastics and the different types and the whatnots, and
Yeah,
Well, plastic is a problem, but if we don't take plastic, people won't recycle.
right. Yeah, and I know, it just, unfortunately, as a town our size, we can't just, I mean, I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with Bozeman, with their bill on the single-use plastics. I think it was being heard today, the case was being heard today. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with that, because it could mean that no city
There's a
in,
lot.
in Montana
What-
can
didn't-
regulate that.
so I think the state legislator had already passed something, and then Bozeman did it on top of that, so it's a battle of who trumps who.
Yeah, so, I mean,
Okay.
Red Lodge isn't the size of a town where we can, I personally, I don't think that that's a doable thing for us, is to limit or say you can't use single-use plastics. I think that that would be very problematic for our town, but,
We're only taking what everyone else takes, which is one
Right.
and twos, like juice and milk jugs
right,
and detergent. I mean, it's very basic, really.
yeah. But I mean, honestly, the solution is for manufacturers to quit making things with plastic,
Well, no.
and that's not
Quit
going,
buying it.
yeah.
I mean,
But, yeah, I know, but everything comes in plastic. I mean, it's just, yeah.
but it's harder, but you can do it. That's my philosophy. Aluminum is a nice option for pop, if you wanna drink pop,
Yep,
but,
or beer.
it's hard, it's very hard.
I only buy cans.
I know,
Feel better.
so, yeah, definitely. So I don't know, yeah, I guess on that, just keep us informed of where we're at on the budget, if, and at admin and finance too, I guess. Lonnie, I'll bring it up with Lonnie. You know,
And
if
as
we-
we start hitting the budget for next year.
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be, we're gonna need to know, where we're at, and I know a lot of people love the recycling center, and a lot of people outside of the city limits use it, and they love it, and they pay for it, you know, so they're willing to pay, so, you know, maybe that is another option, is that we, increase the membership to help cover it rather than the $6 fee. I don't know.
What's the membership, $125?
$120 for a year.
And it's what, 300 for a business?
Mhm.
So, it's actually
Or
cheap,
drop-off fees,
$10,
of course.
yeah.
Well, and that's a problem I'm having is, it's not for now, but probably, but, you know, people save up
Yeah,
and bring 6 months worth of recycling, and
right, yeah,
it's not $10, you guys, come on.
Yeah.
Work with me here, and so.
right, exactly.
But, you know, that's one thing that we're faced with.
I can't make it on the hours Wednesday, Saturday. I don't utilize it, I'm not gonna lie. I can't, it's just not feasible for me between, so if I do it, it's the same thing where it's stockpiled,
Yeah,
Well, you can come on Thursday.
yeah.
and just leave it?
No, it's open from 10 to 2 for businesses, but people who can't make it come. It's not busy enough that would be an inconvenience for us.
But you're also in the city,
Yeah.
so you're paying the $6,
Yeah,
so you're,
yeah.
like, you're.
You should use it.
Yeah, so you can show up with a big truckload, because you've already paid your
Right.
$6
But
a
like,
month.
at one point, we were talking about like drop-off stations, and, I thought that was another option, instead of like just the Wednesday, Saturday, or
Well,
Wednesday, Thursday.
you know, look at different hours or longer hours, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always been that way, so but anyway.
Well, when we do another review of everything, you know, maybe we can take some feedback from, yes, go ahead.
I guess for a point of curiosity, being a major cardboard producer,
Yes,
and we had arrangements with our previous supplier to backhaul our cardboard. That's no longer an option.
Oh, no.
So what are the limits of cardboard? Because we can bring it pre-baled.
Could you guys, I thought Sean you guys were driving it a
We're
couple
driving,
times
yeah.
a week to,
If I mean,
If
it's a matter of, there's a cost. I lose
Sure.
a person for a day hauling cardboard, all that. And I don't know if it's even feasible to take the time to haul it to the recycling center versus hauling it.
It is pretty interesting watching him pull into the school drop-off line. hauling the load of cardboard.
But, you know, it's, what are the limitations? Because we can overwhelm your system, I'm sure.
Well, we can take 45 at a time when the truck comes, and you probably would add, how many bales would you typically bring over, you think?
We probably produce, this time of year, 3 to 4 a week. In the summertime, we probably produce double that. For 12 weeks, we're probably,
How big are your bales?
they're running, I think, about 600 pounds.
Ron, if you or Sean can go over on Thursday and talk to Kyle, he'll be there from 10 to 2. And, you know, more money for us, right?
Well, it's, you know,
Yeah.
I guess that's one of the questions would be, it would, while cardboard is being sellable,
Mm-hmm.
it does create revenue for the center. It's when it becomes, you have to pay to get rid of it, which it was there for a while, then it becomes a burden.
Yeah, well, we're selling it, it goes to a paperboard company down in Oklahoma.
So I don't
Well,
know,
I mean, it's different every time, but the last one was,
what size of bales are you using?
we have 2 balers, and I don't know what the sizes are.
Just curious if it's the same size as what we're producing, or?
But when they come, they take 45 bales.
Okay.
Plus
I think
ki-
when we haul, I'm trying to think how many thousand pounds of cardboard it is.
I mean, I know it's a truckload when he was doing
It's a
it.
truckload, because we double stack it. But it's just, it's a time thing.
Yeah.
Because you know, we have.
Can
to-
you or Sean go talk to Kyle on Thursday? He's there Wednesdays and Saturdays, but he's not as busy on Thursday, that's why I'm,
I'll, yeah, we'll see where we're at as far as what Thursday's like for us. It should be calmer this week. But, it would just be interesting to see, as you can, if you drive by the store, you see that the cardboard bales are starting to, pile up again.
yeah, yeah.
I think we were hauling around 15 or so, maybe a little bit more. I was trying to think. That was probably, when we got 15, we load them up and haul them, but there's just a lot of,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's easier to haul, time-wise, if it's easier just to save up 15 and haul it versus every week taking, you know, what we have over to the center, but it'd be something we'd have to think
Yeah.
about. But I was just curious if there's interest in that cardboard.
Well, Dr. Kyle, there's certainly room to store it, stack it. This time of year, we're not as busy with that as, of course, same as you.
Right.
It might be a good time to get rid of some
The
of it.
workload is in loading it and unloading it.
Yeah, and we've got a Kubota tractor that we put it on the trailer, but I don't know how,
Kyle has the forklift that he just takes it up that ramp. There's that ramp that's always there, and the truck backs up to that, and Kyle just loads, I think 45 is our limit.
well, I'll talk to Sean and
Yeah, it'd be great.
see what we can figure out.
Mhm.
And let Kyle
I
know
mean,
that.
if it generates money for the center, it might be worthwhile.
You what?
If Kyle wants, I'll come down there too.
Sure,
We can
okay.
I'll get together.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, anything else on the Bear Creek Industries recycling center? Okay. Parks and Sustainability Board update.
That's me, and I only went to one because we haven't had the second one. Sustainability is Monday
Mhm.
at 4. So I went to Parks last Wednesday night, and, basically they prioritized their projects, had this little graph, and then Thursday nights they're having a meeting about, the observatory and the lights at the rodeo grounds, if they can dim, evidently they have 14-yard lights. And so they wanted to talk to, they're gonna have a meeting Thursday night. I don't know, I think the address sounds like Teresa's house on South Broadway, or, I don't know, but I'm not going. So, and then, talked about bears, parks and bears, signage, and prioritizing, that they want to prioritize for the coming year. And,
It's a long meeting.
huh?
They always are.
That one was really long.
I didn't know if that, I don't know if that graph thing was a good idea.
They used to bring food,
What,
they used
what,
to feed you.
what they did on the graph is they actually took the graph, but they modified it from what it is, and afterwards he came back and said, you know, when you modify one of your axes, it kind of reversed it, and it didn't.
They were-
He said that it was Eisenhower's method. I said, I hope he didn't plan D-Day with this, because, I mean, D-Day would have been a lot worse.
Oh, my God.
All right.
So,
Oh.
that, anyway, that's it, and,
So is the meeting on the lights, is that where they were gonna meet with the commissioners and or the Parks Board?
I don't know, they
Or-
didn't really talk about
That didn't come up at the,
Oh,
at
okay.
the meeting, but I know that they're planning on one.
Are they
Okay,
just
well, it's at
brainstorming?
6 o'clock on Thursday at an address on Broadway, which I thought would be, where would it be besides
It-
Teresa's house?
Or a Roosevelt Center?
Oh, okay.
It might, if it's on Broadway, it'd probably be.
Well, I have,
Either one.
Those are pretty close to addresses.
Yeah, they are.
So.
No, they were going to meet with the Parks, not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chelsea was gonna.
yeah, with the Fair Board, because it's the Fair Board that actually, is in charge of the fairgrounds,
Yep.
is my
I
understanding.
work with a few of those.
Yeah,
I think the lights are on that piece of county ground where they have their equipment and their sand shed.
okay. Yeah.
Public Works is staying out of the
Uh-huh.
site.
That's a good cho-
Good stuff there, yep.
I don't like it. Yep.
it's,
It's county ground.
a second,
Yeah.
723
battle.
South Broadway. That sounds like Teresa's house.
723,
South Broadway.
which sounds to me like the.
Oh, it's on that side, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Roosevelt.
It's the
Yeah,
Roosevelt.
okay.
Yep. Like that.
But it's 6 o'clock Thursday night.
I'm not going.
I can't go.
Albeit.
Okay, perfect. Okay, any other, review, priorities, projects, and timeline of the committee? Just the CIP was the main
Yeah.
thing getting,
The CIP and the RFP for solid waste were the only two.
yeah. Anything else that you
I
wanna,
mean, I think moving forward, things are gonna start kicking in gear with, you guys on council are gonna see probably some stuff come up for the SRF loan for the water project, hopefully, and that'll be kind of on your horizon. I have a feeling there's gonna be some resolutions that go along with this EDA grant, so that'll be on the horizon. The other projects that might occur this summer, we have the grants and everything in place for phase one of the wastewater, so I don't know if there'll be a resolution for that one. There will be a bid that goes out, we'll bid that out, and that'll be something that'll come to council. I don't know if, have we done anything with the MOU for the stream bank?
It is not done, but I'm hoping to get that done. So I wanna follow up with you. There's been,
That project might be on the horizon this summer too, so.
okay,
And that one will come across the council's desk probably more than the others.
yeah, that one, the part that's there, I'm sorry, you said, you're talking about the bank, right?
Yeah, the banquet restaurant.
Yeah, so that actually doesn't, you guys don't have to approve it, it's basically just so we can have a single permit.
okay.
I talked to Sage Joyce yesterday, who's the, Army Corps of Engineers, and she was blown away that she had not heard anything about it yet.
Well,
She-
yeah,
they-
and nobody's heard about it yet because they haven't put in for the
That she
permit.
said, we want their plans in advance, and she said it'll speed it up if they get all that stuff to us, so I'll follow up with you on that afterwards.
Yeah.
And then the Brewery Hill project, you say the feasibility is done, are we gonna, is there anything council's gonna have to do to meet those grant filing deadlines for that?
Yeah, we will be approving it
Okay.
because there will be basically when we submit it, we're basically gonna be saying we'll meet the match. So there'll be a financial match,
Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, same.
Now,
Not for the feasibility, to accept the.
well, yeah,
feasibility study, we'll
to accept it,
first.
we'll have to.
right,
No, we won't have to
But that won't be this budget either, we'll be talking about that next year and then possibly 2 years.
So that's,
The TA grant, we'll have to,
okay, I'm not gonna put that on this one.
we'll have to,
But there is council, council will be allowing us to submit it.
Yeah, I think that was his, main concern is that we're up against a deadline for the submitting of it, and when's that gonna be in front of council?
Yeah, well, the date's in April.
Right,
And we just got it like yesterday late.
okay,
Oh,
So it's not so we just got it, so we couldn't have put it on this week.
no,
Next week is the
okay.
time it'll be there.
okay.
So next week we'll, and that's to,
Next.
adopt the feasibility study and say we're going to apply for the grant?
To adopt it, yes.
Okay, so Brewery Hill feasibility up in April for adoption.
you're gonna take the draft, the final draft and say, this is it.
We accept it, and yes,
You're gonna
and
take
we're
the
gonna do it.
draft part off.
Oh, just
Okay.
remove draft.
Okay,
Yeah, remove the watermark.
okay,
Got it. Word.
okay. And then for the match for that, was that part of that coming from Beartooth BRTA? Or is it all coming out of resort tax?
I think they can come up with some, and I think there'll be some donations too, but that we're many, many moons from having to know what that is, to find out what the offer is.
Okay,
So
But,
now
but
it's
they
done.
did tell us that ultimately it's like, I wanna say it's 11.5% of the contract that we'll have to come up with.
13 point something.
It's less than 15 and it's an odd number.
when did I see where it was like 275,000?
Cause that's what it was of 1.7 million or whatever.
Okay.
That's our match part of it.
Okay,
Like 230.
But they did, the numbers they'd given us before, the one we have posted right now were soft numbers. So,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we're done now. But-
Perfect.
So I'll talk about it. So when they gave it to us the first time, there was just all sorts of contradictions, and it was obvious that it was not ready for prime time, and so we pushed it back to them. And so that's why when they sent it over, it's like, I'm going through it first, because we identified a bunch of stuff that was problematic the first time.
Okay, all right,
For the preferred alternative, it's 13.42%. Weird
Oh,
number.
my.
245,000 for the city. It's a $1.8 million project.
But again, going back to the resort tax dollars being one-time expenditures, rather than saying we're financing something forever and ever, we'll do half of that this year, half of it the next year, as opposed to like the suck truck we got this year.
right.
Mm, okay.
That was
Get that
a one-time
already?
purchase.
Did you get the,
No,
Not
it's
yet.
still waiting.
okay,
It takes
okay,
forever.
okay. Any public comments? I'll stare at Rod.
You have, oh, no, not anymore, you had folks online, but they're not there.
Alan was here briefly.
In your negotiations or call for bids for, waste removal,
Okay?
are you exploring curbside recycling?
That has been part of the conversation that we've had, so,
Well, with this particular company that we work with now, when they were doing, curbside recycling before, they were just throwing it in the truck. Because we had a dedicated dumpster for plastic at the store. Well, you dumped that in the truck first, and then you took all the other garbage right in the same truck. And we questioned that, and they went, well, we sort it out later. It's like,
well, I know when I've seen it done residential, they have like colored bags, so the green bag goes in one pile, the blue bag goes in another pile, stuff like in Europe, that's how it is.
They used to have, when they very first started doing it in Red Lodge, they had like nets on the side of it.
Right.
And then I figured out that they weren't recycling anymore because
They were just
there were no
throwing it
nets
in the
anymore on the side of the
It's kind of
truck.
like the two slots at the post office that both jump into the same bin.
Mhm, yeah.
truck. So I guess.
Yeah.
That would
they
be part of
need
that
to- they would
performance
need to
thing.
Yeah.
Show proof of recycling.
Up their game a little bit.
And need to
Yeah.
have separate trucks picking up recyclables versus garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, what we don't want to do is micromanage, but we would like to have them, to your point, convince us that they're doing it, and can you do it, and then,
Right.
quite frankly, we have to make a decision, is that the best thing for our taxpayers, and if there's a little bit more to do that, or if it's not,
Mhm.
so.
Or do we start it, doing it ourselves?
The Victor people have a trailer with 6 things. They sort and when they pick up, the guys sort, and if it's not clean, if it's not, they leave it in the bins for people to take back into their houses.
Oh,
And
And
so there,
isn't most of it not clean is the real problem?
well, yes,
All the reading I've
contamination
done.
is huge down here. I don't buy peanut butter anymore because it's so hard to clean your peanut butter, jars. So, so I'm trying to get through to people, you gotta wash out milk and clean your peanut butter, but what I'm trying to say is when they go by, they are sorting it, as they pick it up into, not bags. That's
Right.
horrible.
right.
Oh, God, that's a nightmare to get it out of those bags, sticky, messy.
Yeah,
And they're sorting it, this is especially the design trailer with 6 slots, glass, plastic, blah, 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 blah. And that's the expense.
right.
And it's being hauled, it's being, a huge Dodge truck is taking the trailer. I'd love to go over there. I would go over there if the weather wasn't so bad. I love it over there, but I'd go get a tour.
Yeah.
But maybe in the spring.
I know. Well, and I mean, personally, I think with this solid waste, I mean, everything should be on the table. I mean, but to discuss, you know, and check it off, like, yeah, that's not feasible for our town, or that is, and how do we do it? And,
Well, I'm gonna continue to, check with municipalities to see what they're doing, because we can't go backwards. We've been recycling for 50 years, we can't go back. We've gotta figure something out.
well, I know every business in town would love it if, you know, we had Norm still and he came around and picked up our cardboard.
Norm,
If we had, what was the first part?
Norm.
Norm
Oh, Norm.
Mance.
Yeah, he used to come around and pick up everybody's cardboard, take
His
it down to the
cardboard
recycling
would
center.
be 20 feet up, and he'd do it at 11 o'clock at night, and the truck would just be,
I know.
Your cardboard?
anyway. I digress as usual.
But he would, you know, people would pay him, and he
Yeah.
would come, you know, they'd pay him $50 a month, and he'd come pick up their cardboard and haul it down to the recycling center. I mean, yeah,
And then the other Norm, I miss him too.
yeah. Okay, anything else, guys?
Nope.
We're done.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming, appreciate it.